Have you ever pondered whether our spoken words are simply arbitrary symbols or if they hold a profound, concealed significance? This mystery steers us towards the labyrinth of language and connotation. Welcome to the realm of deconstruction, a radical notion birthed by French philosopher Jacques Derrida. Deconstruction, a term originating in the 1960s, is attributed to Derrida. It champions a distinctive textual analysis that exposes the underlying suppositions and contradictions in a text, thereby questioning the normative interpretations and hierarchies of meaning. It focuses on dissembling binary oppositions like presence, absence, and speech writing, as referenced in Derrida's key work of grammatology. Another significant instance is Derrida's critique of the notion of a center in structure, sign, and play. In this text, he implies that the center of a structure is constantly evolving, hence challenging conventional beliefs about the permanency of meaning. Derrida's philosophy compels us to question the inherent construct of language, revealing the inherent ambiguity and multifaceted aspects of the meanings it holds. His work prompts us to recognize that nothing is as straightforward as it seems, not even commonplace words. His profound examples embody how his approach to deconstruction illuminates the intricate and interconnected fabric of meaning. Deconstruction, a philosophy devised by the French philosopher Jacques Derrida, is a crucial strategy for comprehending texts, language, and notions. It fundamentally challenges the conventional beliefs of Western philosophy, especially the idea that language can accurately and transparently depict reality. The main principles of deconstruction include: 1. Instability of meaning. Deconstruction contends that meaning is neither fixed nor stable, but rather dependent on context and interpretation. Words and concepts do not possess inherent meanings, but gain importance through their relationship with other words and concepts. 2. Binary oppositions. Deconstruction scrutinizes the binary oppositions that structure Western thought, such as presence, absence, speech, writing, and nature, culture. Rather than considering these oppositions as stable and hierarchical, deconstruction unveils their interdependence and mutual constitution. 1. Difference. Derrida coined the thia to describe the dynamic between difference and deferral in language. Language simultaneously creates difference by differentiating between words and defers meaning by referring to other words. This inherent ambiguity prevents the establishment of fixed meanings. 1. Trace and iterability. Deconstruction stresses the concept of the trace, referring to the lingering presence of what is absent or deferred in language. Additionally, language is characterized by iterability, implying that words and concepts can be reiterated and recontextualized, resulting in a proliferation of meanings. 1. Critique of logocentrism. Deconstruction criticizes logocentrism, the belief in a fixed and stable foundation of meaning inherent in language. Instead, it purports that language is inherently unstable and that attempts to fix meaning across various fields, including literature, philosophy, law, and cultural studies. Its analytical methods have shaped interpretations of texts, the study of language, and broader philosophical inquiries into truth, meaning, and interpretation. Despite its intricacy and controversial nature, deconstruction persists as a significant and influential method within contemporary intellectual discourse. Jacques Derrida's deconstruction philosophy draws from a wealth of intellectual currents and philosophical predecessors. Among the discernible influences are: 1. Derrida's interaction with Heidegger's existential phenomenology was impactful. Heidegger's exploration of language and ontology shaped Derrida's perspectives on language and interpretation. 2. Saussure's insights on signifier and signified, and his focus on the arbitrariness of the linguistic sign offered a basis for Derrida's language deconstruction approach. 3. Freud's psychoanalytical perspectives, particularly concerning the unconscious and human subjectivity, enriched Derrida's perception of the subconscious layers of language and meaning. 4. Friedrich Nietzsche's critiques of traditional metaphysics and his emphasis on interpretation, multiplicity, informed Derrida's deconstructive philosophy. While these played a role in shaping Derrida's philosophy, it's worth mentioning that Derrida's work is not a mere adherence to any single tradition, but a thoughtful amalgamation of varied philosophical currents. His deconstruction philosophy emerged from his critical engagement with these influences, coupled with his unique insights and analyses. Deconstruction, originating from philosophy, manifests itself in diverse manners. It reveals concealed interpretations and discrepancies within philosophical texts through textual analysis. It questions the conventional perception of language as an unambiguous medium, highlighting instead its inherent fluidity and uncertainty. It undermines hierarchies, questioning dichotomies such as reason and emotion, presence and absence, or subject and object, indicating that these categories are interdependent and dynamic. Primarily, deconstruction advocates for the diversity of meanings. It encourages us to appreciate the intricacy and discrepancies within texts and notions, promoting a deeper understanding beyond the superficial, exploring the profound, interwoven layers of interpretation. The next time you engage with a text, bear in mind that the visible content is merely a fraction of its entirety. Concealed beneath the surface are nuanced interpretations, contradicting points, and intricate details awaiting exploration. This encapsulates the allure of deconstruction. More than a philosophy, it represents a method for appreciating life, comprehending linguistics, and at its core, grasping our own identities. Venturing into literature and philosophy unveils the momentous influence of the deconstructionist approach, reaching beyond its origins to permeate legal theory and jurisprudence. The deep-seated impact of deconstruction in the sphere of legal theory is a subject revisited continuously by many legal philosophers. These dedicated thinkers have committed significant time and energy to evaluate and question traditional practices and notions within the legal system, fostering considerable advancement in our comprehension of law. The imprint left here is substantial. Deconstruction's inaugural impact was a thorough critique of the language employed in legal texts. It disputes the notion that legal texts harbor a definite, unchanging meaning. This groundbreaking idea challenged the bedrock of the legal system. Legal philosophers, under this novel influence, have revealed the inherent equivocality of legal language, demonstrating that it's often subject to varied interpretations. This analysis heightened awareness of the intricate constraints associated with legal language, prompting legal practitioners worldwide to acknowledge its complexity. They began to appreciate the need to weigh the potential implications of diverse interpretations. Moreover, deconstruction has been in revealing embedded power structures within the legal framework. Scholars using deconstructive methods have exposed veiled biases, unidentified hierarchies, and injustices within legal texts and institutions. They have revealed how seemingly neutral legal ideas can reinforce dominant power structures and marginalize certain groups. This led to a significant reassessment of legal absolutes. Deconstruction challenges the notion of fixed meanings in law, suggesting that legal interpretations are context-dependent, never absolute. This perspective questions the certainty of law and supports a more sophisticated understanding of legal principles. Lastly, deconstruction's application has amplified the concept of legal pluralism, emphasizing the multiple meanings within legal texts and promoting the idea that legal interpretation can be a diverse process. It has broadened the acceptance of the notion that a single legal principle can have various valid interpretations within a society. Legal philosophers have employed deconstructive methods to how cultural, historical, and societal contexts influence legal norms. This approach has highlighted the dynamic nature of law and its deep connection with society. In conclusion, deconstruction philosophy has enriched our comprehension of law, triggering scholars to scrutinize established legal doctrines and consider alternative interpretations. It has fostered a more subtle approach to legal analysis that acknowledges the complexities of language, power, and interpretation within legal systems. Our exploration of deconstruction philosophy yields profound insights that merit careful contemplation. Central to deconstruction is the recognition of the yea and elusive nature of language, texts, and ideas. It inspires a humble approach to knowledge and meaning, fostering an understanding that truths are not fixed, but rather fluid and interpretation-dependent. Deconstruction nudges us to critically examine established hierarchies and power dynamics, questioning prevailing narratives. It also urges us to evaluate how language and discourse may subtly perpetuate societal inequalities. This philosophy instills in us the courage to probe, to challenge, and to analyze, revealing underlying societal biases and prejudices. Moreover, deconstruction advocates for an appreciation of diverse interpretations. Instead of pursuing a singular, absolute meaning, it values the coexistence of multiple perspectives and voices. It supports the view that a single concept or text can yield multiple valid interpretations, each enriching our understanding and experience. Deconstruction uncovers a realm where meaning is not restricted to a single interpretation, but is a complex entity informed by various cultural, historical, and social contexts. It widens our viewpoint, encouraging us to value the varied interpretations that render our world a dynamic tapestry of human experiences. In essence, deconstruction philosophy underscores critical thinking, humility, and a dedication to challenging disparity and fostering inclusivity. Implementing these principles in our intellectual and social pursuits can guide us towards a more nuanced and balanced comprehension of ourselves and our world. Deconstruction us with the means to delve deeper, to question the accepted, and to acknowledge the diversity that defines our humanity. In reflecting upon the principles discovered from deconstruction, it's essential to acknowledge its continuing significance in contemporary dialogue. Deconstruction isn't merely a historical intellectual curiosity, but an active philosophy influencing our perception of the world. Primarily, it provides a sturdy method for critical analysis of various elements like texts and concepts, an invaluable tool across assorted fields like literature and cultural studies. It allows us to unearth underlying assumptions, power dynamics that enlighten scholarly research and social criticism. Also, in a postmodern era, deconstruction skepticism towards meta-narratives and fixed meanings is still relevant. It presents a structure for understanding the intricacies of our modern culture, where diverse perspectives coexist. It enables us to appreciate human thought and experience in all its variety. Further, deconstruction highlights power structures and challenges dominant discourses, a facet that takes on new significance in contemporary discussions on social justice and identity politics. It prompts us to focus on voices from the periphery and examine the role of language in perpetuating exclusion. It can contribute to the pursuit of equality and inclusivity. Moreover, the interdisciplinary capacity of deconstruction allows for its application across various fields, stimulating discussions in diverse contexts. Despite critiques and alternative approaches, deconstruction continues to provoke discussion and innovation within philosophy and other disciplines. Its ideas stimulate dialogue about knowledge, truth, and interpretation. This ongoing engagement testifies to its enduring impact. To conclude, while deconstruction may not reign supreme in every intellectual domain, its insights into language and power continue to offer significant perspectives on contemporary issues. The legacy of deconstruction endures and continues to shape our perception of the world in substantial and meaningful ways. In examining the significance of deconstruction, we place our focus on Nepal, a locale where this philosophy, though not a staple, yields invaluable insights. Deconstruction, a formidable tool for critical scrutiny and interpretation, is particularly applicable in literary, philosophical, and cultural studies, providing fresh outlooks and enriching intellectual conversation. Nepal, a vibrant cultural heritage and linguistic variety, aligns with deconstruction's emphasis on language fluidity and multiplicity of meanings. It assists in delving into Nepal's cultural diversity, illuminating the role of language in shaping cultural identities. Additionally, Nepal is a battleground for social justice and identity politics, often facing power dynamics issues, especially regarding marginalized communities like ethnic minorities, women, and Dalits. Here, deconstruction can question dominant narratives, shedding light on language's role in perpetuating exclusion. In Nepal's evolving legal political sphere, deconstruction offers a critical lens for examining legal texts, fostering discourse on justice and equality, and advocating for inclusivity. In the realm of educational reform, deconstruction can encourage critical thinking, open dialogue, and multicultural awareness, thus nurturing an education system that values diversity and intellectual curiosity. Although the direct application of deconstruction in Nepal might need local context adaptations, the universal principles of critical inquiry, cultural sensitivity, and social justice can bolster intellectual conversation and social advancement. To conclude, deconstruction's enduring global relevance continues to offer invaluable perspectives, impacting our comprehension of language, power, and interpretation, including in contexts such as Nepal. Like all philosophical concepts, deconstruction isn't immune to critique. Critics suggest its abstract nature and academic vernacular may push it beyond the grasp of many, impeding its wider understanding and utilization. They also highlight the potential perils of the inherent relativism and skepticism of deconstruction, suggesting its emphasis on the fluctuation and diversity of meanings might lead to intellectual chaos, where every interpretation holds equal merit and no definitive truth can be discerned. It's been noted, too, that deconstruction is proficient deconstructing, but falls short in offering alternative structures or pragmatic solutions. Further, some express reservations about the political implications of deconstruction, arguing that its focus on language and discourse could inadvertently overlook tangible realities. Finally, critics also point out the potential of the author's intent, asserting that deconstruction may prioritize the reader's interpretation. However, despite these critiques, deconstruction remains an instrumental tool in diverse fields, from literature to law, cultural studies to social justice advocacy. As with any philosophical school, it continues to provoke thought-provoking discussions, inviting us to reevaluate our perspectives. In the following scene, we will delve into practical applications of deconstruction.